Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I am your host, Brandis Daniel.
You're forever saying that.
What?
You're supposed to say I'm your co-host.
I am your co-host, Brandis Daniel.
Just joking. I'm your host, Sybil Amuti. Hey, great girlfriends.
Hi, great girlfriends.
Oh my goodness, it's nap time. We just had
the best Mexican food. Oh, it might beat the other spot. Every time we're recording from Brooklyn today, and every time Sybil comes to Brooklyn, we always eat from this restaurant, the same Mexican restaurant. Yes. And today we decided to do something new, but it was delicious.
It was good. But I really like the burrito from the other spot. And I feel like I eat off of that 2 days.
Yeah, it's definitely, the portions are better.
Yes. Great girlfriends, what's going on out there in these TGG streets?
I know, y'all. So Sybil just came back to New York from I don't know how long. What your excursion was, girl. I was like, is she coming back to New York? I don't know.
It was long and it felt good. I was like, I really don't miss certain things right now.
So I know you went to Essence Festival.
I went to a wedding. I went to
Ohio.
In Ohio. So I was between Memphis, Ohio, Cleveland, Atlanta, and New Orleans.
You guys stopped by Ariel. Right? Oh, no, she came to Atlanta. Okay.
Shout out to Kyle and Jamie. Congratulations on getting married.
Yes.
So beautiful. And, And I did not miss New York at all. Like, sounds like that. Like, I didn't miss any of that.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm still waiting on my vacation, which has not happened.
When is it happening?
I think I'm going to take a vacation in October.
Oh, nice.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm not sure, but I think a vacation is coming in October.
Find some sand, girl.
Yeah, I need some sand between my toes.
I know that's right.
And not the New York beaches, which I am going to a New York beach, but that's a different kind of situation.
But in October, they're freezing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to report that I gained no weight while I was away.
Good job.
I don't know how that happened. I think sweating in those New Orleans streets.
Good job.
Literally soaking every day after walking for miles in New Orleans because you just walk so much and it's so hot. I think my body was like, yo, we're not going to attach to any of that. So
I wish I had the same story. So now I haven't actually weighed myself in a while because I'm just like, let me just work out and eat right. But when I came back from New Orleans, I stepped on a scale and was like, yeah, here's what we're going to do, Brandis. What we're not going to do is eat any food for the next few days. We're going to do green juicing. We're going to do fruits and vegetables and not even so much for your body, really, to get your mind right.
Right.
I had to get my willpower back.
Yeah.
So, girl, I did fruit and veggies for 5 days with my niece. Actually, 10 days. The last few days I kind of drifted off, but and that has got me back on track. So, I'm back on track.
I love that.
Back at Orange Theory.
Yes. I see you.
Yeah, I know, girl.
I know. I'm back with my trainer, who happens to be my husband, which I know some of y'all are like, wait, what? Trainer, husband? Can that be both? But actually, Kwaku is my best trainer ever.
That's so good.
Whenever we work out together, we have a great time. He's not pushy as a trainer. He's very direct and he's clear and he won't let me rebut, but he's not like, come on, 5 more reps. You can do it.
Yeah.
Lift that arm, lift that. I don't get any of that stuff. He's like, he shows me, he does a demonstration and then he rolls out.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. So shout out to my trainer bae. That's what I'm going to start calling
Trainer
him.
bae.
Trainer bae Kwaku.
Look, we done waited too late to try to get fined. It's darn near we in August.
It's summer somewhere.
Girl, we done waited too late.
And this summer situation is a real deal. Have you seen these images?
I've seen this hot girl
People
summer.
Are out here flaunting and flexing, and I just want to salute every woman who is capable of posting a hot girl summer image. I'm not there, but I want to celebrate you. If you're able to do it, #go. You go, girl.
Oh my goodness. That is so crazy. So funny. Well, great girlfriends, we actually do have things to talk about. But this is what they getting today, because this is what Sybil and I really want to do right now is just sit and talk. So y'all getting all of our chatter right now.
All the chatter.
But we do have a really great episode in store for you. We've had so many great episodes the last few. Great girlfriends, are you
Yeah.
guys sharing these episodes?
You should be sharing. Don't be stingy. You know, literally pass it to a great girlfriend. Just forward it and be like, yo, I thought it was cute. Even if it's like, okay, so say you got the girlfriend who, like, you know, she really need the episode, but you can't be like, girl, you really need to listen to this.
Right.
You could be like, girl, I learned so much listening to this.
Right.
And then she'll be like, oh, okay.
Let me check it out.
Yeah. And then don't forget to leave us reviews. We need all of your reviews because the other great girlfriends that are out there who have not started listening will read your review. They trust you. They'll believe in you. So go on iTunes, leave your review, and then jump into our Facebook group and follow us on Instagram, The Great Girlfriends. Do all of that.
Absolutely.
Gave you some homework.
So what are we talking about today, Sybil?
Life hacks.
Life hacks.
You know,
what are hacks?
Hacks are things that kind of will make your life simple. Something that will simplify your process a bit. You know, sometimes we work through things that are much easier than they seem because we don't necessarily have the knowledge on how to shortcut it. So a hack is like a shortcut.
All right.
What's going to shortcut me to a result? And again, I think our whole show, as we were talking about, our whole show is about hacking. It's about life hacking and making life simpler and doing the work so you can grow professionally and personally. But also, there are some legit shortcuts on certain things. It's most of it starts in the way we think, and then the rest of it is how we act.
Absolutely,
the things we act on, the choices we make.
Absolutely, I love it. And so today we're dealing with the way you act. We're not dealing with any thinking.
We're not. Well, we got a little thinking, feeling.
Yeah, but most of it's acting. Most of this is acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well. You want me to start?
I want you to start.
Okay. So one of the things is we were kind of thinking about, like, what are some life hacks? What are some things that have made our life easier? And I realized one of those things that I am, as unstructured of a person that I am, I'm actually very unstructured. However, I love boundaries. And I like structure, but it's not my natural gift. And so creating boundaries for me has been crucial, I think, to just growth, to having a great life, to having a fun life. And those boundaries can go anywhere from, what time my daughter goes to sleep at night, because that is a clear boundary that cannot be broken, to where she sleeps, which is in her own bed. Another good boundary.
Moms know about that, yeah.
Sleep in her own doggone bed. To, things that I allow, what I release about my relationship with my husband, to boundaries around my friendships, and I create little boxes and boundaries. And the reason I do, is because there are certain spaces, and we talked about safe spaces on another podcast. There are certain spaces for me that I have to protect. And when people start getting frazzled and upset and have a life that's not peaceful, it's usually because they've not created any boundaries. You allow people to pour all kind of things and words into your life with no boundaries, with reckless abandon.
That's really true. Very true. And then we look up and we're disappointed because they've left the residue of the things that they have left or imposed on us. Is sickening to our system because we were never meant to take it on in the first place. So
Absolutely.
I agree with you. The boundaries have definitely, I think, in order to protect what you're building, right? So, for example, I'm married 13 years. It don't mean I'm not still building a marriage.
Right.
I'm building a marriage by the minute, let me tell you.
Right. Right.
You just don't get in that bad boy and it's done.
Right.
You are constantly building. And even as a parent, as a mom, I have 2 children, but I'm still building on relationship and things like that. And as an entrepreneur, you're building business and you're building more. And in life, you're building relationships. And it's essential that within the build of relationships, you have a framework that supports you and your growth and your nurturing and the growth and nurturing of other people. And I think it's really good when we create boundaries because it gives us an opportunity to protect and nurture at the same time what matters to us first.
Right.
So many times we prioritize other people And by the time we get finished taking care of everyone else's needs and wants, we look up and we feel deserted and we feel forsaken or abandoned because we didn't take the time to establish up front what matters.
Absolutely.
So many moons ago, many moons. And I sometimes waver between this because I don't care for structure, but I know it's essential for me to be productive. I budget my time. I budget my money. I budget my communication. I mean, I allocate it in ways that serve what I need and what other people need in balance.
Absolutely.
And I think for me, it's protected the woman that I am. It's protected my family, my marriage. It's protected my husband from feeling like he's third place, you know, and my children from feeling like they come last between the marriage, business, and other things that matter. And I think it's also given me opportunity to really stand up for my vision, my big vision. Absolutely. Because you can't be a short-term thinker and have long-term goals and expect to reach them.
Absolutely. You know what I was just thinking about? There was something you just said about your vision and boundaries. And I was thinking boundaries are really what allows us to grow. But there was something else you said about around business, I think. But boundaries are really what allows us to grow.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a thing that allows you have to create them.
Well, you have it too. Your mom and dad have I think they have a garden and they have a flower bed. None of it is. My mom and dad have many, flower beds. And when you have a flower bed, you have to protect. You have to partition out the soil that you want to fertilize for the growth of certain flowers, right?
Right.
So you create boundaries in the soil.
Right.
You literally have to isolate that soil and you fertilize it differently because you're expecting to grow a certain type of flower or fruit or whatever it is. And you're also protecting that soil from weeds.
Absolutely.
So
I know what I was going to say.
What you going to say?
I was trying to find my thought earlier. What I was going to say was no one ever says, hey, girl, create boundaries. You have to create those boundaries. It's like when you're working at a job and you know that you need to leave that job by 6 p.m. because you got a whole life outside that job. And nobody's going to say, oh, Sybil, you need to go home, girl. You got to go home and take care of, your 2 children and your husband and make sure that your house is okay. You got to create that boundary. No one
said no one ever.
People will we have to make those decisions for ourselves. No one will ever create the space or the boundary that you need. But anyway, so let's go on to number 2.
Number 2 is eliminating distractions. And it somewhat points back to number 1. Because when you think about part of the reason why we're able to even entertain distractions is because we haven't set healthy boundaries. So eliminating distractions means prioritizing our attention, prioritizing our focus, prioritizing our responses, prioritizing our inbox, our outbox. I love, one of the things I took from you, Brandis, years ago, you have like 1,000 email in draft. Like she keeps an email in draft. Not everything's meant to be sent in the moment that you think it needs to be sent. Some things are distractions that need to wait until their appointed time. But really looking at the things that people will impose on us, the questions, the conversations, the conflicts, the things, calls with mama, auntie, brother, family dynamics that come our way and how they impact our ability to focus on our goals and our outcomes. And I look at the micro of it. I look at the daily task of it all. And so many times we we have these to-do lists and they're magnificent, right? Because the to-do list is really an optimized expectation list. If my day goes perfect, I can accomplish these 10 power-packed items, right?
Right.
And the to-do list doesn't factor in the majority of distractions that come our way, like coworkers, like traffic,
social media,
like bills, like children, like husbands, like questions, like response time. And so I think for us, life hack number 2, eliminating distractions means at your best, be realistic about what you really truly need to respond to, when you need to respond to it, and learn to prioritize what's right now, what's for later, and what's for never. And my daughter, Dylan, I promise you, I took this from her about 4 years ago. When she said, this is out of context, she said something to my friend Crystal. When Crystal said something to Dylan, and Dylan didn't feel like she needed to respond. And I said, Dylan, did you hear Crystal ask you a question? And Dylan was in spy mode. Every little kid got an imaginary mode. Dylan says spies don't respond. And I looked at her and I was like, did she really just do that? But what it reminded me of was I don't have to respond to everything everyone says or does to me when they say or do it. I don't have to respond.
Absolutely
you might want me to respond. You might be trying to trigger me. You might be provoking me. You might really think it's important in that moment. But I guarantee you can wait until it's prioritized on my list.
Absolutely. 1000%. Number 3, I would say is forgiveness. Because a lot of times in my 20s, I mean, I'm dating myself, but in my 20s, I carried around a lot of unforgiveness, And that unforgiveness was clogging my life up. It was not allowing me to make certain great decisions for myself because, unforgiveness, it really does block you.
Yeah.
And there are some people who I know some of our great girlfriends will forever be upset with, right?
Yes.
Because of certain things. But if you can find a way to forgive them, it really lightens your load and it makes life so much easier to navigate without all of that.
And that doesn't mean pretending that what happened didn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
That it didn't happen to you, but you don't need to hold yourself hostage, right?
Right.
That's so good. Okay, so life hack number 4 is all about love. Love, 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 love. My favorite word is leading with love. And I'm going to tell you, I put this post up the other day and I stand beside it. I stand for it all day. Because my life changed completely when I allowed love to be the guiding force, the guiding light, like my compass.
Right.
And I decided that I would lead with love. That opened up the invitation for me to pursue passion.
Yes.
It opened up the freedom for me to enjoy and to take away some of the misery that I was carrying, some of the unforgiveness, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the rejection. It really did rid my life of those things as my guiding light. When Cherry Salata talked about misery being a compass, I said, Father God, did she know me when I was 21? Because that really was a compass for me. And letting love be my compass. And I think it expanded my reach. Because there's no person I don't feel capable of reaching because I understand I can love them. And that'll be a bridge for my communication, or that'll be a bridge or a solvent for how we heal. Right. Or how we recover, time in relationship, or how we build new relationships.
Absolutely.
So I'm encouraging you, great girlfriends, to shift your compass, or even challenge yourself with what Sherry said. If misery is your compass,
right,
and be honest in your gut. Is it hard for you to love?
Or be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right? Because part of loving is being vulnerable, because it really is expecting the best out of people. And so often the reason why we don't trust people, the reason why we don't, is because it's a way to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
But love doesn't operate, but that's it, operating out of fear.
Yeah.
And love doesn't operate out of fear.
You don't really have to expect anything out of anyone when you lead with love.
No.
All I expect is what I give.
Yep.
So you don't have to give it to me in return for me to still be responsible for my leadership.
Right.
And I think so many times, like you said, if we stop placing such heavy expectation on other people, life will be made much more simple if we can learn to give what we expect to receive.
Yes.
That way it's already out there because you gave it first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. And number 5 is getting uncomfortable. Part of life is change.
All of life, right?
All of life is change. And just when you get comfortable with one thing, I'm telling you, something else comes, and you have to adjust to that thing. And life is just, if you want everything to stay the same, which my daughter does, by the way.
Really?
Oh, Sky is a creature of habit.
Oh, wow.
You know why she didn't like those fancy clothes? I got Sky these clothes in Memphis, and she told my mom she didn't want to wear those fancy clothes.
I caught them in Walmart shopping for some other alternatives.
Right! After I bought them good clothes. But she doesn't like change. Oh. So now that she's got used to the clothes, that's what she wants to wear. But you have to, she doesn't do change well. Wow. So I know what I'm dealing with, right? I know that's going to be
a wild ride for the two of you.
It's going to be a wild ride for us. a wild ride for us.
Oh
But that
my gosh.
really is, that's a part of life.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely. I mean, the soap opera said it best: "As the world turns."
Yeah.
It is a forever changing, evolving, and quite frankly, that's where all the good stuff happens
It
in the world of
does.
the sphere of change.
It
And when we
does.
get uncomfortable, I think we open up so many more adventures.
Absolutely.
And the good stuff starts to happen.
Absolutely. So,
All right, count down this list one more time. Number 1, life hack.
boundaries, creating boundaries.
Yes. Number 2, eliminate those distractions.
And number 3, just forgive. It's going to help you.
Yes. Number 4 is leading with love.
And number 5 is get uncomfortable.
Get uncomfortable. Great girlfriends, thank you so much for continuing to support the podcast and for pouring your reviews into iTunes. We want to give you some life hacks to make things a little more simple for you so you don't have to bump your head on the same old thing over and over again. If you like this episode, make sure you jump in our Facebook group and talk about at least one of the hacks that you're going to implement in your personal life.
Absolutely. All right. Love y'all.
Love y'all. Peace.
We could not end this podcast without thanking our amazing husbands.
Yes, thank you, Kwaku.
And thank you so much, Rich Daniel.
And our beautiful children, thank you, Sam and Dylan.
And thank you, Miss Sky Daniel.
And thank you to all of you great girlfriends for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter.
You can check us out on our social, on Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends,
on Twitter,
_great GFS,
and on Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
And please make sure that you join our Facebook group, which is over 16,000 women strong.
Absolutely. And make sure you listen every single Wednesday on iTunes, Spotify, Podcast Bean, Podcast Republic, Google Play, and every other podcasting service.
Absolutely.
Be sure to post your questions, share with your friends, keep listening, and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're signing off.
Peace.
Peace.